Okay, so hi guys for another episode. This is where we interview sellers, normal sellers like you. No, it's not just about 9-figure sellers and 8-figure sellers and 7-figure sellers. It's about showing you that this is a legitimate, real world business that normal, everyday people that have got jobs and got families and got lives just like you are doing, so you can know it's legitimate and hopefully learn some tips and tricks from people actually in the game doing it. So we've got Luke Huntley here. Hey, Luke, how you doing?
Hello. How you doing? Very well, thank you.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for agreeing to share some of your journey and some of your experiences and stuff with us. I love doing these things. I love chatting to people. I know it's not the first time we've chatted. It's not the first time we've met. But at the same time, I'm probably going to deep dive into you a little bit more than I probably have before. So I'm going to learn a bunch of stuff about you. So it should be fun. So first of all, tell me, who's Luke? Tell me who you are. Tell me about what you do. Give us some of your background.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm Luke. I've started an Amazon business officially probably 8-9 months ago. It is a side hustle at the moment. I'm aiming for it to be full time, which I'm well on the way to doing. I'm a mechanic full time. Have been since I left school, so that's 20 something years now. So that's cracking on. Yeah. Two children, and a wife and a dog. So home is pretty busy, fun but busy. So yeah. Cool. If I can carry on.
So you said you've been a mechanic forever. Literally, have you worked for the same company that whole time, or?
Not the same company, but I left school at 15, and I've been in it ever since. Only a couple of different companies actually, so it's not been a whole load. But so I don't know what else.
Is it fair to say that you don't know a whole lot else, but when it comes to fixing cars, you're probably quite good, I imagine, in 20 years in the game, 20 odd years in the game.
Yeah, there's not much I haven't seen or had a go at up to this point. So.
No, that's cool. Okay, so how do you feel about your job? Do you like it or do you hate it or what?
It's a difficult one because it's been really good to me. I've never been made redundant. I haven't been out. I shouldn't have said that, should I? I haven't been out of work.
Touch wood.
Yeah, don't. There's people are always looking for a good mechanic, so there's always places to go. But when I just made the decision to become a mechanic after school. Yeah, my dad warned me at the time it might not be something I wanted to do forever, and he was right. It's not what I want to do forever. Is it
something that your dad did then? How did he know you wouldn't want to do it forever?
He's quite mechanical as well, so he's quite hands-on with things. He started doing that kind of thing, and then I had his own business up until he retired. So I think he knew that I was similar, and we'd probably want more, and there was. I don't know, maybe a bit of creativity, a bit of a desire to do something, not more, but different.
Yeah. So do you think that desire, that inner desire, that I think a lot of us share? I don't think I think a lot of people.
I agree.
So do you think that desire for more is what brought you on your Amazon journey?
100%. Yeah, I tried a couple of businesses beforehand. Just trying to find something that would make me self-employed, basically, something that I could build myself.
Yeah. So what did you try? What were those couple of things that you've tried?
Oh, I tried some interesting ones. From selling laptop skins and wall stickers to a couple of known herbal supplement companies. Yeah. I planned to open my own garage, sort of half-heartedly, because it wasn't what I wanted to do, but it was something I knew I could do. So I've basically just taken all the difficult roads that I could to get me away from where I was.
Yeah. So do you think then, since you've tried a couple of things in the past and it's not quite what you wanted to do you think now, and I know you're only 9 months into your Amazon journey-ish, but do you think that this is something that you could see yourself doing long term?
Definitely, yeah. It feels a lot more like something that I can build on and actually create. I can actually see where I'd like to be, and more importantly, how I can get there.
Yeah,
which is important.
So how much did you start out with when you were starting out? Did you come straight into online arbitrage and retail arbitrage, or what? How did your journey start on Amazon?
I actually started on private label.
Okay.
Through an American-based company.
Yeah.
Which was really good. I mean, I looked to maybe to go there again in the future towards the private label, but there was a lot more research and stuff that needed to be done. A lot more money needed to be laid out initially to get going.
Yeah.
So some pennies were lost, unfortunately, during that first bit. But during that, I learned so much about the Amazon platform that I realised there was really something here that I could work with.
So it made no sense to just quit, and you thought, you know what, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to pivot from private label, and I'm going to try OA, RA. Is that right? Have you done both?
Yeah. The people that I was learning from then predominantly did PL, but they did OA as well. But it wasn't. It was different in America. I came across the Secret Wealth Project, kind of the UK version to me at the time, and it all made so much more sense that's where it started, really.
Yeah, I mean, my journey on Amazon, at least, was probably quite similar to yours. Then I started in private label, even though a lot of people do it the other way around. I started in private label, realized that the dream that they'd painted wasn't quite going to unfold the way that I'd hoped, at least, and didn't want to just scrap it. And I'd made some good money doing it, but then lost some good money too. Like, I remember this one shipment that landed in New York, I think it was packaged wrong. I had the option of either sending it back to China or burning it at my cost, about 10 grand. I think it cost me 10 grand or something like that, just that one little thing. Whereas the beauty of OA is you only buy the stock when you know it's going to sell. So it's brands with proven demand. And I guess is that what appealed to you? So you went from having to lay out a load of money, create demand in private label, to go in, no, I'll only buy it if I know I can sell it. And is that what appealed, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. The research involved in the private label, as you know, was a lot deeper. I actually had a similar problem where they sent all of my stock, which was supposed to come to me. They sent it straight to a fulfillment center. And the fulfillment center didn't know it was coming, so I lost out, quite a large figure as well. But then when I started to look into OA, I could see what was selling, and it just made so much more sense. It didn't seem like such a dangerous step as as private label.
I think if you make private label work, you could potentially do very, very, very well from it. But the pitfalls in private label are deep, many, and expensive, and it only takes you to trip up over one, and all of a sudden you lose a lot of money, and your dreams kind of crumble. I'm not trying to bash private label. I've been harsh on private label over the years. I think some approaches to private label are good and can work for you, but the stuff that most people do is, I think, not a quick way to losing your money, but more that way than the way they paint it. But OA, it's kind of simple, isn't it? So talk to me about your OA journey then. Is it exclusively online arbitrage that you've done, or have you done RA as well, or do you a bit of both, or what?
It's predominantly online arbitrage. I have dabbled with a couple of bits of retail. But I stick to online, really.
I suppose over the last 9 months, you started it during crazy times where doing RAs a little bit, some people do it, but it's a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 8 months where I've taken it really seriously. Right. I did start at the end of, where are we now, 2019. But I wasn't taking it that seriously then. So it's really for an 8 month, 10 month maybe block that it's been.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm with the goal.
So with regards to your OA journey then, what was the initial investment that you started with? How much capital did you have when you first started?
I was around £1,500 that I put in straight away. Yeah. But there was...
Go on.
Sorry. I was just going to say there were some bits and pieces that I didn't have at the time So that money went quite fast and not in the right direction. So
what do you mean by bits and pieces you didn't have?
When I came from using a different company, they didn't really mention any software.
Right.
So I actually started, I suppose a lot of people did start like that, just looking on Argos, John Lewis and places like that at the Lego prices, and then moving over to the Amazon platform and seeing where the differences were, and just completely winging it like that.
Nice.
So it worked.
Yeah, absolutely. So you was just going, right, it's selling for £10 in the sale in Argos, and it's selling for £22.99 on Amazon. So I'll buy some and see what happens. Is that okay?
Yeah. But at that time, I had no idea how many were selling, if I was allowed to sell it or anything like that. So I think most of that initial £1,500 was spent on products that I couldn't even sell, and I had to then sell them on eBay.
Yeah. So bad buys really, but you probably recovered your cash, did you, by selling on eBay?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of profit to be made, but I covered myself and enough to start again.
Okay, so you got your money back. That's good.
Yeah.
So you said that then you find some software. What software was that?
I tried a couple of different ones. I've ended up sticking with Buybot Pro for my deal analysis.
Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't actually be without it now. If I I was to have anything taken away and it was going to tip things over, it would be that, because I just use it for everything.
A lot of people think that Buybot Pro is just for like beginners, but obviously it's super helpful for beginners. It's almost essential, but like the biggest, most veteran sellers ever use Buybot Pro. And like you say, how would you even manage without it? Like to go back just winging it, it just don't really work, does it?
And it's so time consuming doing anything without it as well. I mean, you can just wing it, but the time that you save is very
and then
important.
you're going to prevent a lot of bad buys as well, aren't you? Because those things that you couldn't sell, for example, that ended up on eBay or Buybot Pro told you in one click, in a few seconds, you can sell it, this is how many it's selling, and all that stuff. Do you use any other software?
I use online arbitrage deals as well as manual sourcing, which fits perfectly with Buybot Pro. So it is really the time. I'm very busy during the day anyway, and having those two together means that I don't have to spend 3 hours of frustration and stress that I had when I started. Now it's just cut the time down so much.
Yeah, absolutely. No, those two work beautifully in tandem. So you mentioned manual sourcing. What does that process look like to you then? How do you go about manual sourcing? What's your thing?
Buybot Pro again. I use the feature on there where I can just look at products online, and then it's got an excellent feature where I can just highlight it and right click it, choose the marketplace, and it will come up on the same screen, and I can just scroll down, pick the product, and do my analysis whilst I'm looking at that screen on Argos or John Lewis or wherever else I'm looking, which is really quick.
So you use the manual sourcing accelerator. You know what I didn't realize, but I was told the other day that for many months, I think maybe even this was put in last year, I don't think you have to highlight the title. You know, the title. I think right click it. So you want to try that next time you use it, because that alone is a massive time saver. I was told that we implemented that ages ago and I didn't know about it. And I've made videos whereby I've been like, highlight the thing.
Still highlight the top.
You don't need to. You just right click it. This is what I'm told. So what do you do then? Do you go to everyday stores and go in the clearance sections, or do you just go through random stores? How do you find your stores, and how do you find the deals when you're doing manual sourcing? What's your process for that?
Having done it for a little while now, there's a few stores that I just keep going back to. I'm really aiming now to build a replenishable list that I can keep going back to every month and restocking. So I don't tend to do the clearance or the aisles or anything like that. I tend to just keep going back and I know that there's going to be deals on in certain stores, so it's just a matter of checking if those deals are on when I'm looking to buy, really.
Yeah. So I think that's the advantage of experience and what people don't realize at first.
Yeah.
You're building up that replenishable list and you're going back. So they might be looking at new deals that are out there and maybe facing some saturation issues and stuff as OAs find brand new deals and the easiest to find stuff in Tesco and all that stuff. But you're going back and as Luke D calls it, building your Bible.
That's it. Well, yeah, Nat calls it replenishables, and Luke calls it the Bible. But it's the Bible. It's a solid way to build a base, which is important.
And you've only been doing it 9 months. Imagine once you've been doing it, I don't want to say 9 years. Imagine when you've been doing it for 18 months or 3 years. Like that list, that replenishable list is going to get nice and long. So, so what platforms do you sell actively on eBay as well then, or is it just mostly Amazon and just the odd return or something on eBay?
It's just the odd return really on eBay. It's nothing serious. I got rid of quite a lot of my private label products that didn't pan out on Amazon on there, so I have got a power seller account, but I don't use it to its full potential yet. So what's your why? If somebody said, look, you work really hard, you paid pretty well, like what's your biggest why? Like, are you trying to achieve I don't know, what's your why? Why'd you do it? It sounds cheesy, but it is my family. I love. It's not even that I want to give them things. I just want to go on adventures with them and spend time with them, holidays, and my kids are 8 and 10. They're obsessed with camper vans. So the idea of just having a camper and disappearing for half of the school holidays and just having an adventure, just fun stuff.
So you want to invest in experiences for them rather than physical goods. I think that's healthy. I'm not going to judge parenting, but I think some people can spoil the kids, and I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think spoiling your kids is a good thing, but spoiling them with experiences is almost always a good thing in my mind. So taking them to that water park that they want to go to, or taking them to that place at the coast, or taking them to that foreign destination, I think it's all good. I don't think there's any downsides to that personally, but I mean that's just me. But
I totally agree.
You agree, yeah. So I could properly spoil my kid with all kinds of stuff, but the way I see it is, look, even at your birthday and Christmas, you got a budget. I can afford to buy more, but you shouldn't have more because it's inappropriate. And it's weird. It's just me. It's just the way I am. Are you the same?
I'm the same. Last Christmas as well, because we were in lockdown, the things arrived, and they had too much stuff from because all the family want to spoil them, and I know that if you give them a spade and put them on the beach, that's them for 5 hours, or if you throw something in the garden, they're gone. So I just think experiences are much more important, and 100%. That's the aim.
I think so. So let's take it back to your Amazon journey. What you picked up on the way. So, what lessons have you learned so far on your journey with regards to OA? And I don't know. It could be a sourcing tip. It could be a buying tip. I don't know. What lessons have you learned?
If I was to go back right to the beginning now, just because we've spoken about it, Buybook Pro would have saved me my initial £1,500. I think if I could go back to that.
Nice.
That one piece of software, and not to worry about ungating as well. That was something that really stumped me when I started. Everything seemed to be gated, and I spent a lot of time focusing on getting ungated.
Right.
Looking at it now, I feel I spent too much time focusing on the closed doors and kind of missing all the open doors, if that makes sense. That was,
so have those doors opened over time to you, or are you just saying, look, don't look at all the negatives, kind of just focus on the positives? Or which is it?
A bit of both, I suppose. For me, I wasn't as restricted, I think, as some of the new sellers are now, because I had a private label branded thing going on Amazon before. I think that must have helped.
Yeah.
And I think in the last year and a half there have been more restrictions for people. But yeah, definitely, I just focus on the positives, because if you keep going through the open doors, some of them do open on their own. In fact, Bible Pro, just for me today, I hit. It told me I wasn't eligible, and I just pressed ungate. I didn't think it would work, and it just came. Yeah, because you've sold a certain amount, you've obviously trusted, and that was it. Bang! That door was straight open.
Amazing.
So,
amazing. I love it. The first time I clicked that button, I think I was making a video and I clicked the button, almost expecting to show it saying like, "Oh, it didn't work" or whatever, and it ungated me. I'm like, "Oh my god!" As easy as that.
Yeah.
So somebody without Buyabot Pro would look at that and go, "Oh, I can't sell it," but somebody with Buyabot Pro just clicks ungate and it ungates it. It's like, "Oh my god, now I can sell it," and it's that alone is a game changer. So, did you find yourself clicking a lot on ungate on Buyabot Pro then, or do you think time has ungated more? Have you? What's that look like?
I think the more that I followed products that I could sell, it obviously does a lot for your seller account.
Yeah.
And now when the doors are closed and I go to ungate, they are opening more frequently, which is a great feeling. Even if the deal's not right, it's still a great feeling when it tells you you're ungated, because it's a possibility for the future then as well.
Yeah, I'm never going to sell bleach baths for removing horseshoes, but I love that I can.
Yeah, so it's nice to know I could if I wanted to. Yeah,
exactly. So okay, so what would you if you was teaching somebody your best strategy, your best, most hidden, amazing strategy? Can you think of one that you would pass on? Something that's just like gold, that everybody needs to know, but maybe new sellers don't know. I know that's put you on the spot.
Yeah, well, only because I don't do as much manual sourcing as others do, because but because I use online arbitrage deals as well.
Yeah.
But there's even a few ways that I use that. Sometimes I won't always take the deal it's showing me. I'll go to the page that deal came from and see if there's anything else on that page. So it helps me find other products. Generally, it tells me shops, stores that the products are coming from, and different categories. There's categories that I hadn't thought of. When I first,
I've heard a lot of people say this. Did you learn this tip from somebody? Or
I heard it from Luke again, from Luke DeGun. I didn't really understood it when he said it, and then I gave it a quick go, and I was like, oh yes. I had done it before accidentally, but I think when you hear someone kind of reiterate something, you're like, oh, that works.
Yeah, nice. So you go to onlinearbitragedeals.com and you might see a deal on there, but you go, okay, so what's your thought process when you see a deal? How do you expand that out? What is it you do? You click on the retailer's website, and then what do you do when you're there? What's the thought process to find other deals?
If it's showing a deal, if the amount of sellers is already perhaps 10 or 11, I'm sort of thinking that could go up within the next week. So perhaps I know that product is selling. Maybe there's a similar one. So I'll head to Amazon to the box on there. It lets you go straight to the product on Amazon, and I'll have a look around there to see if there's any variations, or I'll just scroll down to similar products and what other things people are buying. And then once obviously I've clicked on that product, Buyabot Pro sort of tells me if I'm in the right place. So it's
nice. So you'll look for variations on the listing that is an OAD, see if there's any opportunities there. If not, you'll scroll down to the other customers buy this. That you mean? Yeah. And then you explore those. And again, using manual sourcing accelerator in Buyabot Pro.
Yes.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Go down a couple of rabbit holes, and I guess occasionally you'll find a deal. How often does that happen? Are we talking once a day, once a week? Like, how often would you say that process works out for you?
The last couple of weeks, I've actually been doing it on every product. So I've set myself a purchasing quantity for each day, and I've tried to do half straight from OAD, and then some more with my new new way of doing it, just so I get a bit of a mix.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's working out quite nice.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's good. That's good. So you're getting that extra value from OAD.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. For anybody watching this, onlinearbitragedeals.com is closing its doors to new members. So I think it's Wednesday at 8 p.m. because they're capping the membership. So I just thought I'd put that out there for anybody watching, because Karen's been making posts about it. So if anybody that doesn't know, get in on that. Obviously, they'll open it again with the one in, one out policy, but Karen's strictly capping it. So if you want to follow Luke's tip, then OAD is available right now, but it won't be very long. So any tips for using the software? You've talked about a tip already. So is there any other tips? Do you use Profit Protector Pro?
I do use Profit Protector Pro, yeah.
How's that work?
Yeah, I can. Again, when I first started, I didn't even know about reprices. I had no idea what they were for whatsoever. And when I only had 15 products listed, it wasn't too bad because I could go through them and adjust the price when I needed to. But what I didn't know then was I was listening to Amazon. So Amazon would say to me, you need to be more competitive with your price and match this price. And I was going, oh, okay, I'll match the price. I'll match the price. And then I still wasn't selling any. So I'd go back in and lower the price. And I'd get a sale and go, oh, I made a sale. And then I'd look into the profit and there wasn't any. It was like 6p. So when I, obviously, so
that's when you were doing it manually. So yeah, that's you were doing that manually, and you found it. Oh, damn! I only made 6 pence on that.
Yeah.
So then you found Profit Protector Pro, and how has that changed things for you?
It's changed. Yeah, it's completely changed it. I found that straight through BuyBot Pro. Like it just made sense together, and now I just set it, and I don't even touch it. I set my minimum and my maximum prices. I've chosen the balanced sales algorithm, and off it goes. It's brilliant.
And are you selling for more using Profit Protector Pro then? Are you selling faster and for more, would you say?
Yeah, definitely more. It is strange because I go look at the buy box sometimes on a certain product if I think it hasn't sold for a while, and it might be at 14 quid. And then I'll make a sale for £27 the next day. I think, how did that happen? But yeah, so it's brilliant.
But all the other sellers are still at £14. Yeah.
Because when you...
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, because you know in your head what your products are selling for. So sometimes a number comes up at 27 quid. You think, I haven't got anything selling for 27 quid. And it's found you an even better price than you were hoping for. So
it's miraculous. It's like people that don't use Profit Protector Pro maybe don't use a repricer or use a rule-based repricer. They don't realize what they're missing. Because like there's some people out there saying algorithms don't work and algorithmic repricers don't work. Well, explain that then. Do you know what I mean? Explain Luke and tons of other users just like him that use Profit Protector Pro's algorithms and get really, really outstanding results. So your favorite one is balanced. That's what you use, is it, Luke?
Yeah, I didn't realize I had, but I had it set to. I'm not going to remember the exact name because there's so many options on there, but it was on cautious something strategy.
Yeah.
And I went to recheck it the other day. I had that set as the default. Yeah. And I realized that it should have been on balanced. And as soon I put it on balanced, and the last couple of days has been much better sales. So
awesome. Have you tried Super Aggressive Dominator?
I have. I had Amazon jump on a couple of listings at the end of last year. Yeah. And I'd held on to the products for probably 4 months and thought, if I can just use the aggressive option and get my money back so I can reinvest it. And so I used that.
And did it take the buy box off Amazon?
Yeah, they were gone quite quick, which was great.
Yeah. Again, a lot of people get scared of like, what if Amazon jump on a listing, or what if they're already on a listing, I can't sell it? Well, most of the best selling products on Amazon, at least in the OA game, are being sold by Amazon. So I think you're restricting yourself a lot by not selling against Amazon. And people that think that you can't get the buy box off Amazon, it's not true. Sometimes they just share it. And the times when they don't, you just have to use a tool that can kind of do the business.
Well, I got stuck with products before that I'd bought, before I was using any software that I was trying to sell. And I was trying to battle with Amazon, and they were just beating me down and just never give me the buy box. So again, with BuyBot Pro, with the little smiley face telling you that Amazon share the buy box, I now know so it's worth going with them sometimes. Whereas before I was scared off because they didn't want to play. But now I know if they are sharing it. So that's priceless as well. It's very useful.
No, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked about a couple of tips. What are your biggest challenges you faced in your business? What's the biggest thing that kind of makes you go, damn, I wish this wasn't like this? Or is there anything that stand out? Is it work getting in the way of doing your business? Is it time? What's your biggest challenge? Capital?
It's between capital and time. With the private label attempts and some other financial drains, I haven't been able to reinvest the money that I'm making every month. So in the 8 months or 9 months I've been doing it properly, I've kind of just been treading water or maintaining the business. If I'd have been reinvesting the money, then it would have gone up so much quicker. So
have you been taking your profits out?
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, it sounds like a bad thing when I say it, but it's paying. I've got a couple of loans from the private label stuff that I did, so it's basically paying that, which is great because it means I'm not paying them. So that could be anything. I could have bought a car or something like that, and it would be certainly paying for that.
Yeah, no, that's so. But if you was so you would like to be in a position whereby those loans were paid off. So then you could reinvest the profits and obviously compound your income over time. That makes a lot of sense. So is it fair to say then in your 9 months, when you first started out, you were like, can this work? Can this not work? Was you skeptical over online arbitrage as a business model? Or were you slam dunk, yeah, this is definitely going to work? How did you feel at the start compared to how you feel now?
I've just questioning myself there because when I started, I lost a ton of money.
Yeah.
And then I think what it was, I lost the money and then realized it was still something nagging at me. There's people doing it. Other people are doing it. So it was a kind of a quest to find out how they were doing it. And then and that's software led me to, I see the information you need now. But,
nice.
And then it quickly became obvious it was a very viable thing to do.
Yeah. I like that. I like the process of seeing somebody. They're so skeptical at first, I mean, maybe this wasn't you, but they're skeptical, asking the most not weird questions, but the most like beginner, obvious questions to us, having done it a while, and then they're asking these questions, and like you can tell they're getting their head around it, and then I love that moment where they give it a try, and hopefully, usually, it works out for them, and then very quickly you see them kind of contributing in the Facebook groups like they've been doing it for their whole lives and stuff, and like a duck to water. Like it's always obvious it was going to work, but I love seeing that skeptic go to, no, this is a real thing. This is actually working.
I think because you can start with such a small amount of money. I mean, I did start with £1,500, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be £500. And then once, like you say, once you see people get excited so quick, because once you make a couple of sales, it gets you.
It's real. At the moment you make the sale, it's real. I always say your first sale is your best sale because you just proved it works. As long as it's profitable, you just proved it works. So you don't have to have made. I always congratulate people on the first sale because I think the first sale is the most exciting one. Because you can make £1 million in your business, but that first pound is the start of that journey. Whether your journey becomes a 10 grand a month business or 1 grand a month business or 100 grand a month business, it all starts with that first sale, and that belief comes about by that first sale. I love that.
Definitely. Yeah.
So if you could go for a drink with any person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ooh, I like that one. Haven't got an immediate answer.
No, tough one, isn't it? It's weird.
It is, yeah. Well, I'm a martial artist,
nice.
so I'm going to say Bruce Lee because it's the most obvious one, and he was fairly into his philosophy, which is something I try and do. So I think.
What martial arts do you do?
I've done it from a very young age. The last thing I did was Wing Chun. which was
Okay.
what Bruce Lee studied before he got into Jeet Kune Do. So yeah, it was.
Is that all this stuff? Is it like the kind of like punch like that? Is it that, or
it's close contact Chinese boxing? So yeah, short punches.
Yeah,
the 1 inch, the 1 inch punch. And
okay,
so, but it's it was good. It was good fun.
So you do not do it anymore?
I broke my arm. I came off a balancing beam playing with my kids, and I broke my my ulnar and my radius in my arm. I snapped a pair of them. So I've got some metal and stuff in my arm, which slowed me down a bit.
Okay. But, so when did that happen? Was that a few years ago or something?
4 years ago, I think.
And you've not done it since, but you were doing it from a kid?
Yeah, well, yeah, from 14, 15. A few different arts, but yeah. So
what was the biggest belt you got then in that?
I was a senior, so an assistant instructor in Wing Chun.
What's that? Does it not have a belt system?
It's a green 2, so there's sashes in Wing Chun.
Okay.
I've got a brown 2 in Shotokan karate.
Okay. Yeah, I did a bit of that.
And a purple belt in Japanese jiu-jitsu. So,
oh wow! So quite a rounded fighter, I imagine. Do you see yourself as a fighter, or
not so much anymore? No.
No.
More.
Okay, that's cool. So what keeps you up at night that you worry about? These are weird, random questions about Luke. Yeah. Different night.
Amazon disappearing.
Really?
Yeah. Because for now it's paying off my debt. I think once that's cleared and there's money coming in that I can use and build with, I'll be a little happier. But yeah, at the moment it's what if Amazon decides to press pause or kick me out or something? That'd be a problem.
Yeah. Amazon's not going anywhere. There's always, everyone lives in fear of it, but Amazon are just going from strength to strength. And I think the days of Amazon, the worry of Amazon saying, "Oh, actually, we don't need you sellers," are behind us, because ultimately the vast majority of sales on Amazon now are by third-party sellers. So I think they've even come to the realization that one of their biggest strengths is having this width of products, because people like you are going and sourcing stuff that nobody else is sourcing. And that's one of the biggest advantages. They've got millions of sellers all sourcing weird and wonderful stuff that they couldn't source themselves. Yeah. So I understand it, but I don't think it's going anywhere. I really don't. Okay, so what do people seem to misunderstand about you?
Being a mechanic, when I'm at work and they're telling me what they're doing in the evening and asking me what I'm doing in the evening, it's very different. So I think they underestimate my plans and my visions, because I don't really tell them about my Amazon business. It's a bit of a secret, right? So they see you as a bit of a, for want of a better word, grease monkey. And you know you're more than that. Yeah, and and it's quite frustrating sometimes. It does grate on you, especially when you're doing things like this, and I'm building my business all the time. It's like kind of want to tell everyone, but I'm going to build it first, and then I know the feeling. I know the feeling. I've been underestimated my entire life, and it's something that you kind of get used to. But I've got loads of stories that are just that people you're thinking you are X, and you're so much more than X, and you know it, but they don't know it. Sometimes it's frustrating when they judge you as that. Exactly. I can tell you're quite what's the right word? You're quite eloquent. I don't know if intellectual is the right word, but you come across as quite. I'll take it. You come across as quite intellectual. I think I could tell you got a lot going on, but some people will just, he's just a mechanic, and it's like, no, not just a mechanic. A mechanic is what he's done for a while, but he's not just a mechanic. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, because that's what goes around in my head every day. So yeah, I appreciate that people are thinking that, or that you're thinking that about yourself. Okay. That they're thinking that about me. So yeah, it's good. I think that's what I love about the business, because I'm actually creating something that I can then say, well, this is this is what I've done. This is what I can do.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So if you could turn back time and go back to being 21, what would you tell yourself?
Don't waste time.
Yeah,
and relax. It'll all be good.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
So when you say don't waste time, what do you think you wasted time on?
I think now I haven't got as much time to focus on business and things like that. I think back to the afternoons, Sunday afternoons with a hangover, laying on the sofa thinking, what a waste. What a waste. There's so much more I could have been doing.
Was you a big drinker when you were younger then?
It was just that it was the weekend. It was how everyone met up, and it was just the thing to do. The martial arts kept me out of that to a certain degree, but it meant the weekends I did miss because I was training. But then when I did go out, it was, Sundays were wasted.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I feel you. I feel you. But I think it's a stage that most of us have been through at some point. And I suppose I try not to live with any regrets, but wasting time is one of those that I'm going to look back and go, oh, why didn't I do more? But at the time, you don't know, do you? At the time, you don't see it, But
no, it was great fun at the time. So, no regrets, but maybe a few adjustments.
Have you got any message for people watching this that maybe are thinking about going into starting their Amazon business? What would you say to them?
Absolutely, 100% give it a try. I've got very little time, very little knowledge of selling things, products, markets, anything like that. And it's working for me. It does work. So just try it. Definitely give it a go.
Awesome. Now, I do know, Luke, we're about to wrap it up. I do know that you've got a Facebook group. Is that right?
I have. Yep.
Okay. What's your Facebook group called, and what's it about? Because I've got a feeling that people watching this might want to join.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, it's Online Luke, selling Amazon FBA. It's growing really nicely. We've got a lot of great people in there, from people that haven't even started yet, actually, to people that are doing better than me. So we've got a real mix of people in there, just sharing ideas, asking questions, and just getting involved, enjoying the journey.
And the idea is, look, you're not trying to pretend you're some expert. You've just been dead transparent, dead open. Doing this in your spare time. You're a full-time mechanic. You've got kids. You've got a wife. But you are running a business, and you're sharing your journey in your Facebook group. So if you guys want to share Luke's journey with him, or share your journey with him and see how he gets on, then go on over to Online Luke. What do they type into Facebook to get it? Online Luke.
Online Luke, how to sell on Amazon FBA.
So go type that into Facebook, into the thing. You'll find his group, hit join, and Luke will let you in. You can share your journey with him.
Definitely. Great to have you there.
Great stuff. All right, Luke, that's everything, mate. Unless there's anything else you want to say or any last messages, we'll wrap it up.
That's great. Thanks for having me on. It was good fun. Nice talking to you.
No, thanks ever so much for jumping on. I appreciate it a lot. I know we've missed each other a couple of times. I've been trying to get you on in the daytime and but you did have a call with me, which is nice. Yeah. So no, thanks ever so much, Luke. Appreciate it massively, mate. And yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you want to speak to Luke or watch him on his journey more, go join his Facebook group. But yeah, thanks ever so much, Luke. It's been cracking, mate.
Loved it.
Yeah, no, awesome. You've been a great guest. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Nice one. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, cheers. Bye, everyone. Bye.